as chairman of the Public Safety Committee, I'm a pro-law enforcement alderman. I'm one of the stronger supporters of the Chicago Police on the city council. However, I also support the concept of community violence interruption. I defend it. And I have a lot of people who think the whole thing is a scam and it doesn't work. I actually think when it's done correctly and effectively, and when it's carefully monitored and outcomes are measured, I know it works. But every time we have some shadowy nonprofit agency that does nothing but take the money with no accountability and squander it or spend it on cars, it undermines the whole concept. The mayor in this last budget cycle was proposing a so-called community safety fund where he wanted to spend $100 million, and we asked him on what? And he said, well, violence interruption. Can you be more specific? It's $100 million. You don't get a blank check for $100 million in government. It doesn't work that way.
Alderman Hopkins makes a fair point here. You don't just get $100 million in government with a blank check, or at least you shouldn't. There is the need for greater specificity about where the money for community violence intervention programming is going. I think this documentary does highlight some of the issues with the current structure. But then here's my question for him. If you don't like the mayor's plan, what's your plan? You just stated that you are sympathetic to community violence intervention. You like the concept of it. You don't like what the mayor's proposal was. What's your proposal? Because all I'm hearing from you is teen curfews, right? I'm not hearing anything about reforming the current infrastructure of CVI programming in the city of Chicago. And so this is kind of, this remark it kind of speaks to my bigger issue with Chicago politics, which is people love to complain. Even elected officials, they love to complain and they act powerless. It's like, well, whoa, I didn't like the plan. You don't just get $100 million with a blank check. All right, well, you cut the check. You put forth the proposal. You take charge. You're chair of the Public Safety Committee. Where's your plan? So I think that this is why we need a shift in leadership, because he has nice sentiment towards community violence intervention programs. But then when you actually think about what he's not doing, it's just too ineffectual. I mean, you're the chair of the committee, but you're not taking a true ownership over this issue. And so with my campaign, I do have a plan. I want oversight for grantees and sub-grantees. I want public databases depicting every single person or entity that is receiving funding, their goals, their metrics, their leadership, contact information that has to be up to date. I want grantees to have much more consistent tax reporting and much better vetting of sub-grantees. And I want the city council to stop bickering and calling CVI a scam and actually think about what proactive solutions are required to make a difference in the lives of the most vulnerable people in the city of Chicago. That's the leadership that we need, not more of the same. So that's why I'm running for alderman.